Okay. Okay, students, welcome to GATE class for the subject Design of Reinforced Concrete Structures, presented by K. Maniswamy. So in this session, we will discuss about what are the materials and testing that in RCC and about the working stress method in this session. First of all, so coming to materials and testing. First of all, concrete. So what is meant by concrete? So concrete is made by mixing cement, fine aggregates, nothing but sand, coarse aggregates, and water. So this while preparing this concrete mix, the water cement ratio plays an important role in the concrete mix. So this concrete has been established as a universal building material because of its availability easily. Next. So coming to ingredients of the concrete, so it is generally made by mixing this cement, fine aggregates, coarse aggregates, and water. Nothing but these are the ingredients that we need for preparing concrete. So coming to cement, for general construction work, we use OPC cement. So OPC is nothing but ordinary Portland cement. So next, coming to grades of cement. So which type of grade that we use for construction? So generally, this grade of cement is based on the crushing strength of a cement mortar cube of size 70.71 mm. That is cured and tested at 28 days. So by this way, we can get the grade of the cement. So the grades that we use generally for construction purpose are. So then generally we use three grades of cement. They are 33 grade, 43 grade, and 53 grade. Just a minute. Okay. So for general construction work, we use OPC cement. OPC is nothing but ordinary Portland cement. Next, coming to grades of cement, it is grade of the cement is based on crushing strength of the cement mortar cube of size 70.71 mm, and it is tested at 28 days. So we use for general construction purpose, we use three grades of cement. They are 33 grade, 43 grade, and 53 grade. So next. The next ingredient in concrete is fine aggregate. Fine aggregate is nothing but sand. So for general construction work, we use medium sand, or generally it is termed as zone 2 sand, as per IS 456. So this is also one of the important bit for GATE exam. So for general construction purpose, which type of sand will be used? So it will be it will belongs to zone 2. So zone 2 sand as per IS 456. So as you already know what is meant IS 456, that is the Indian Standard Code for designs. Next, coarse aggregate. So maximum size of the coarse aggregate for RCC for reinforced concrete structures is 200 mm. So that is the maximum size that we have to use. So medium coarse aggregates are like 5 mm, 10 mm also we can use. So but more than 200 mm we will not use. So this concrete is generally very strong in compression and it is very weak in tension. So its low tensile strength is compensated by introducing steel reinforcement in the tension zone. So understand, we have to introduce the steel reinforcement, nothing but steel bars in the tension zone. Why? It is very weak in tension. So thus the concrete is strengthened by steel and the resultant composite mass is known as reinforced cement concrete. So concrete which is strengthened by steel. So both combination is when both are combined, and that resultant composite mass is known as reinforced cement concrete. So reinforcement. So which type of reinforcement that we use for general construction purpose? So we use mild steel, and HYSD bars. HYSD bars are nothing but high yield strength deformed bars. So mild steel bars are they are generally called as Fe250 bars. So that is the yield strength of the steel. So HYSD bars are there will be two types. They are Fe415 steel and Fe500 steel. So here mild steel bars are plain bars. So we will not find any rubs or leaks, any twisting in that mild bars. It will look plain. So they are called mild steel bars. Whether when coming to HYSD bars, we will see some rubs or lugs on the surface of the bar. So these are also called as twisted bars. So HYSD bars are also called as twisted bars. So for general construction work, we use Fe415 steel. So for high strength works, we use Fe500. So for the works which are not more important, so for that structures we will use mild steel bars. Main difference between mild and HYSD is, so mild steel is a plain bar, HYSD bars are twisted bars, we will find any rubs and leaks on the surface of the parts. Coming to grades of concrete as per IS 456-2000. So generally we have different grades of concrete, like starting from M5 or M10 to up to M80 are there. So as per IS 456, so which category come to ordinary, which category come to standard, and which category came to high strength as per IS 456 is. So ordinary concrete, so this starting from M10 to up to M20. So between these all grades are called ordinary concrete. So standard concretes are from M25 to M55. Next, high strength concrete. So for the structures are very important, like bridges, dams, we use these types of concrete. So for high strength concretes, we use M60 to M80. So from M10 to M20, these are called ordinary concrete. From M25 to M55, these are standard concrete. From M60 to M80, these are called high strength concrete. Next, the minimum grade of concrete. Among them, the minimum grade of concrete is for different weather conditions. So the minimum grade of concrete for different weather conditions is M20. So these are the grades of concrete as per IS 456-2000. So next, coming to properties of the concrete. So first one, tensile strength. So the tensile strength of the concrete is calculated from compressive strength of the concrete. So it is calculated from the compressive strength of the concrete. So it is generally denoted by FCR. So the formula will be FCR equal to 0.7 root of FCQ. In this way, we can find the tensile strength of the concrete. Next, modulus of elasticity of the concrete. It is given by the formula E suffix C, that equals to 5000 root of FCK. Next, Poisson's ratio. So Poisson's ratio for high strength concrete it will be 0.1. Next, coming to Poisson's ratio for weak concrete it is 0.2. So generally it is taken as 0.15 for strength design and 0.2 for serviceability conditions. So for high strength it is 0.1 and weak concrete it will be 0.2. So it is for strength design we will take it as 0.5 and for serviceability conditions we will take it as 0.2. Next property, shrinkage. So the property of decreasing in value during the process of drying and hardening of concrete, it is called as shrinkage. So the property of it is the property of decreasing in the volume. So the concrete volume will be decreased during the process of drying and hardening of concrete. So that property is called as shrinkage. So due to this shrinkage, there will be some cracks on the surface. So this shrinkage of concrete may result in surface cracks. The total shrinkage strain is taken as 0.0003 for design purpose. So remember this value. The total shrinkage strain is taken as 0.0003 for design purpose. So Whereas for Poisson's ratio, for design purpose, we will take Poisson's ratio as 0.15. For serviceability, we will take Poisson's ratio as 0.2. Next, creep. So another property. So the long-term deflection due to constant loads is called as creep. So these are some properties of the concrete. So among them, the important properties you have to remember is, so this is tensile strength of the concrete and modulus of elasticity. You have to remember these formulas. We will get some problems and bits on depends on this equation. So we will calculate this tensile strength. First of all, coming to tensile strength, so we will calculate this compressive tensile strength from the compressive strength of the concrete. So it is denoted by FCR, that is equal to 0.7 root of FCK. Next, modulus of elasticity. So modulus of elasticity of concrete is given by E suffix C, that equals to 5000 root of FCK. So this is the Poisson's ratio and shrinkage. For high strength, Poisson's ratio will be 0.1. For weak concrete, the Poisson's ratio will be 0.2. So for design purpose, we will take it as 0.15, and for serviceability conditions, we will take it as 0.2. Next, coming to shrinkage. So shrinkage is nothing but the property of decreasing in value during the process of drying and hardening of concrete. That is called as shrinkage. So shrinkage of concrete may result in surface cracks. So due to this shrinkage, we may get some cracks on the surface. So the total shrinkage strain is taken as 0.0003 for design purpose. So the creep. So coming to creep, this is the long-term deflection due to constant loads, called creep. So these are some properties. So we will discuss some previous objective questions. So first bit. So the modulus of rupture of concrete gives. So the modulus of rupture of concrete gives. So carefully observe the options. So the direct tensile strength of the concrete. So option B is the direct compressive strength of the concrete, the tensile strength of the concrete in bending. Next, the characteristic strength of the concrete. So we have to omit option by option. So the modulus of rupture. The modulus of rupture of concrete will use the tensile strength. Okay. Will give the tensile strength. So now we have to omit option D and option B. So here it is characteristic strength, and here the option B will be compressive strength. So now what are the options that remain? That are remaining. So the direct strength of the concrete and the tensile strength of the concrete. So once carefully look at the tensile strength of the concrete formula. So FCR equal to 0.7 into root of FCK. So nothing but this is by calculating this, we can find the tensile strength in the flexure. So by calculating this, we can find the tensile strength in flexure. So flexure means nothing but bending. So okay, so nothing but, so what will be the correct option? So the tensile strength of the concrete in bending will be the correct option. So generally, people will confuse by looking these options, option A and option C. So we don't have to look at these options because it is compressive strength here, and option D it is characteristic strength. So next, coming to option A, the direct tensile strength of concrete. Next, coming to option C, it is the tensile strength of concrete in bending. So here, flexure is nothing but bending. So now the correct option is C. The modulus of rupture of concrete gives the tensile strength of the concrete in bending. Next, the flexural strength of M30 grade of concrete as per IS 416-2000 is. This is also one of previous question. So here what we have to find is, we have to find the flexural strength. Okay. The flexural strength of concrete, it is given in nothing but it is the tensile strength of concrete. Okay. Okay. So FCR, by calculating this, we can find the tensile strength in flexure. So here in the question itself, it is they asked for what is the flexure strength of the concrete. Nothing but we have to find out the tensile strength of concrete, FCR. So as per IS 456/2000, flexural strength of the concrete is given by FCR equal to 0.7 into root of FCK. So FCK is nothing but what is meant by FCK? It is the characteristic compressive strength of the concrete. So here in the question it is given as it is given as 30. So for M30 concrete we have to find the flexural strength. So substituting 30 here. So after calculating, the answer will be 3.83 megapascal. So option A will be the correct option, correct answer. Next, third one. So consider the following statements. Here, three statements are given here. So first statement will be, so the compressive strength of the concrete decreases with increase in water cement ratio of the concrete mix. This is first statement. The second statement will be, water is added to the concrete mix for hydration of cement and workability. So next, third one, the creep and shrinkage of concrete. So creep and shrinkage, as you already know, these are properties of the concrete. So creep and shrinkage of concrete are independent of water cement ratio in the concrete mix. So these are the three statements given. So among them, we have to identify the true statements. The true statements are, so options are 1 and 2. Option A 1 and 2. Option B all are true. Option C only 2 and 3 are true. Option 4 is only 2 is true. So first we see about the statement. So the compressive strength of the concrete decreases with increase in water cement ratio. So when we increase the water cement ratio, so automatically the compressive strength of the concrete will be decreased. So this statement will be true. Next, second one, water is added to the concrete mix for hydration of cement and workability. So this statement is also true. So when we add water to the concrete mix, so there will be hydration of cement and workability. So both phenomena will happen at the time. So it will be true. Next, third one, creep and shrinkage of concrete are independent of the water cement ratio. So creep and shrinkage. So what is meant by creep? It is the long-term deflection due to constant loads. So what is meant by shrinkage? Shrinkage is nothing but reducing in the volume of the concrete during the process of hardening and drying. So these two properties does not are dependent on the water cement ratio. These two properties are dependent on the water cement ratio. Here it is given as they are independent of the water cement ratio. So option 3 will be false. So automatically, so option 1 and option 2. So statement 1 and statement 2. Both statements are correct. So the true statements are 1 and 2. So hence the correct answer will be option A. Next, fourth one. A reinforced concrete structure has to be constructed along a sea coast. So the minimum grade of concrete to be used as per IS 456/2000 is. So structures which you have to construct along a sea coast, so that should be we follow some minimum standard grade we have to follow. So but here minimum grade is M20 concrete, so that is acceptable. But along a sea coast, so the structure has to be constructed along a sea coast. So the minimum grade of concrete will be, so it will be M30. Option D will be correct. Nothing but, so from M25 to M30 standard concrete will be, it will be standard concrete. So we have to go for M30 concrete. Remember. So next, fifth one. The modulus of rupture of concrete in terms of its characteristic cube strength in megapascal according to IS 456 2000. So modulus of rupture of concrete is nothing but tensile strength of concrete. So remember this. So as we already know, the modulus of rupture or tensile strength of concrete, it will be 0.7 root of FCK. Okay, so many people confuse that by looking on modulus of rupture. So they think that it is modulus of elasticity. So simply they will go through option C, 5000 root of FCK. But we have to look carefully at the question. So the modulus of rupture, it is given as the modulus of rupture of concrete. So nothing but tensile strength of the concrete. It will be 0.7 root of FCK. Option B is the correct option. Next, sixth one. The yield stress of a twisted bar as compared to an ordinary mild steel bar is nearly. Okay, so once listen carefully the question. The yield stress of a twisted bar when compared to an ordinary mild steel bar. So as you already know, so mild steel bar, it is a plain bar. Twisted bars are nothing but HYST bars. Okay, so when compared to a mild steel bar to yield stress, so generally there will be some increase in the yield stress. Okay, so what is the percentage of that yield stress? Either more or less. So generally, mild steel bar, it will have less yield stress when compared to HYST bars. Okay, so options here are 50% more, option B 25% more, option C 50% less, option D 25% less. The correct option will be 50% more. Nothing but when compared to mild steel bar, HYST bars or twisted bars will have 50% more yield stress. Nothing but 50% more strength will be there in the HYST bars. Okay. Coming to seventh question. The ratio of direct tensile strength to compressive strength is taken as. So in the question they are asking as what will be the ratio of direct tensile strength to compressive strength. Okay, it is 0.15. So when we take a ratio, it will come as 0.15. Next question, eighth question. The deflection caused due to constant loads. The deflection caused due to constant loads is called a creep. Option A, creep. Option B, shrinkage. Option C, Poisson's ratio. Option D, strain. As you already know, the deflection due to constant loads is called as creep. So option A will be correct. So all these questions are previously asked questions in GATE. So in materials and testing, we have to remember more about tensile strength of concrete. So don't confuse that modulus of rupture or tensile strength of concrete, both are equal. Okay. So modulus of elasticity will be 5000 root of FCK, whereas tensile strength will be 0.7 root of FCK. So we have to remember these formulas. So Poisson's ratio for high strength concrete will be 0.1, for weak concrete will be 0.2. So for design purpose, it will be taken as 0.15. So shrinkage, for total shrinkage strength for design purpose will be 0.0003. So these values we have to remember. And creep, the long-term deflection due to constant loads is called creep. So modulus of rupture of concrete. So these are all previous questions. It will give the direct tensile strength of concrete in bending. So flexural strength we will calculate by using the formula FCR equal to root of 0.7 into root of FCK. Okay, so here FCK is nothing but compressive strength of concrete. It will be seen in the grade of the concrete. Third question. So statements question. So there will be some statements are there. So among them we have to identify the what are true statements. These are some of the gate questions. Okay. Coming to working stress method. So generally for design of reinforced concrete, three methods we use for that. The three methods are working stress method, ultimate load method, and third one is limit state method. Coming to working stress method, now we will see about briefly working stress method. So what are important topics that in gate? Just a second. The working stress method. So the working stress method is based on elastic theory. It is based on elastic theory, remember. So assuming that RCC as an elastic material. Okay, it is based on elastic theory, assuming that RCC as an elastic material. So next point is the stress strain curve of concrete is linear. The stress strain curve obtained for the concrete it will be linear. So and the failure criterion is also stress. Okay, these are the points that we have to remember in working stress method. It is based on elastic theory, assuming RCC is an elastic material. The stress strain curve of the concrete is linear, and the failure criterion is stress. Next, some important formulas in working stress method is modular ratio. So modular ratio as per AS 456 is M equal to 280 divided by 3 into sigma CBC. So modular ratio is nothing but it is the ratio of modulus of elasticity of concrete, elasticity of steel to the concrete. So it is modular ratio is nothing but modulus of elasticity of steel to the concrete. So as per AS 456, it is given as M equal to 280 divided by 3 into sigma CBC. So here sigma CBC is nothing but permissible compressive stress. Coming to neutral axis. So neutral axis is denoted by in this section. Neutral axis is denoted by small n. So we can find neutral axis depth by small n equal to k into d. Okay. So here k is nothing but neutral axis depth factor. So formula for neutral axis depth factor will be 1 divided by 1 plus sigma st divided by m into sigma cbc. Okay. Here small d will be the effective depth of the beam section. So we can find neutral axis by another method also. Here it will be the formula, but we use very rarely this method. Next, lever arm. So it is the lever arm distance in the beam section. Lever arm is denoted by capital Z, that equals to d minus n by 3. So we know neutral axis n equal to k into d. So here it will become as d into 1 minus k by 3. The formula for lever arm will be distance will be z equal to j into d. Here small j equal to lever arm factor, that equals to 1 minus k by 3. These are the some formulas we have to remember. Modular, what is meant by modular ratio? That is 280 by 3 into sigma CBC. And what will be the formula for neutral axis? N equal to k into d. So k is the neutral axis depth factor. Okay. Next, lever arm. So lever arm distance in the beam section will be z equal to d minus n by 3. So after solving, we will get z equal to j into d. So here j will be lever arm factor, that j equal to 1 minus k by 3. So moment of resistance mr. Moment of resistance divided by m suffix r. So moment of resistance generally it is given as the force into lever arm. So that force may be either compressive or tensile. Okay. So M suffix or MR equal to, as per a working stress method, the formula will be half into K into J into sigma CBC into B into D square. So it is written as Q into BD square. So here Q equal to 1 by 2 K into J into sigma CBC. So to find moment of resistance, we have to follow this formula. So these are some important points that we have to remember in working stress method. So once again, we will repeat. So this method is based on elastic theory, that assuming RC is an elastic material. The stress and curve of the concrete is linear, and the failure criterion is the stress. So the formulas that we come across while doing these problems and working stress method will be, so modular ratio. So modular ratio is it is generally taken as, it is the ratio of modulus of elasticity of steel to the concrete. So as per AS 456 2000, the formula will be M equal to 280 divided by 3 into sigma CBC. Neutral axis small n. So here small n equal to K into D. So here K is nothing but neutral axis depth factor. Formula will be 1 divided by 1 plus sigma ST divided by M into sigma CBC. So here small is nothing but effective depth of the beam section. Okay. So we can find, so in some special cases, we have to find neutral axis depth by using this formula. Next, lever arm distance in the beam section. So lever arm distance is given by small z. It is denoted by z lever arm. So z equal to d minus n by 3. So d minus n is nothing but k into d, as we already know. So here z, then lever arm distance will be z equal to j into d. Where j equal to lever arm factor, so that will be 1 minus k by 3. So moment of resistance M suffix r. So moment of resistance either in the working stress method or in limit state method. So the general formula will be force into lever arm. So that force may be either compressive force or tensile force. Okay. So in this working stress method, the formula will be M suffix r equal to half into K into J into sigma CBC into BD square. So here these terms will come under Q. So M suffix r equal to Q into BD square. So here Q equal to half into K into J into sigma CBC. Sigma CBC is the permissible compressive stress. Next, according to working stress method, so there are totally 3 types of sections are there. So first one, balanced section. Second one, under reinforced section. Third one, over reinforced section. So theoretically, all sections are designed as balanced section. Theoretically only it is possible to design as balanced section, but practically it is not possible to design as a balanced section. So all practical beams that we are designing, that comes under reinforced sections. So all beams. And third one is over reinforced section. So we will see one by one. In the balanced section, steel and concrete both reaches maximum allowable stresses at the same time. Okay. So theoretically, you design the structure as a balanced section, but practically it is not possible. Okay. So in this section, both steel and concrete both reach at the same time, at a time. Okay, both will failure at the same time. Okay. Next, coming to under reinforced section. So in under reinforced section, steel first reaches the maximum allowable stress, then concrete. Nothing but steel first fails, then concrete will fail. Okay. So all practical beams that we are seeing are all under reinforced sections only. Next, third one, over-reinforced sections. So in over-reinforced sections, concrete first reaches the maximum allowable stress than steel. That means concrete first fails and then steel will fails. So it is not possible to design as a over-reinforced section. Okay. So we will practically all beams are designed as under-reinforced sections. Why? Because we have to design as under-reinforced section is because there will, when first steel reaches allowable stress, nothing but steel fails, we will see some proper warning sign. There we will see some proper warning sign there, thereby we can save our lives. So when coming to over-reinforced section, in over-reinforced sections, concrete first fails, okay, then steel fails. So that's why we can't design a section as over-reinforced section. In next section, we will discuss about limit state method of design of singly reinforced beams and doubly reinforced beams. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for joining the class.
Sir, the DDRC mid గురించి సార్